Howie Roseman is not playing around. He continues to make more moves today, bringing back one of the best for an extra year and continuing to bolster the roster here early in free agency. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below so you don't miss any of the upcoming coverage. Shout out to everyone who has been a part of this as we just surpassed 1,000 subscribers. Many more to go. We'll keep breaking it all down leading up to the draft. With that being said, man, some interesting news today. Eagles bringing back a vet. Eagles going out, getting another depth piece. Howie Roseman is never settling. I told you guys this at the beginning of the offseason. I saw that look in his eyes. He wants it, right? He tasted it. He's hungry. He wants to go back to the Super Bowl. And the Eagles have had a pretty successful offseason so far. So we'll get into a couple of the moves here and we'll talk about what they mean. I want to start off with a quick question. Eagle Nation, seriously. It obviously was reported, a couple days ago that Ezekiel Elliott could potentially join the Philadelphia Eagles, or that they were one of his final three teams that he narrowed his list down to, right? Ezekiel Elliott in Philadelphia. What are your thoughts on that? Could it really happen, and do you want it to happen? I know everybody right off the bat says no, right? The Eagles, Jets, and Bengals are probably a couple better situations for him, but I'm just saying, think of this. Picture it. Week 17, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles beating down on them. Ezekiel Elliott runs it up the middle for 3 yards, touchdown, he's eating. The whole crowd's going hype. Wouldn't you love it? I mean, it would be great. I could see Ezekiel Elliott coming here just to get back at the Cowboys for the past couple years. But in reality, do I think it would happen? Probably not. Do the Eagles need it? Probably not. They already have, 3 backs on the roster, and, they might add one in the draft. There's a lot of hype around Bijan Robinson. I don't think it'll happen, but man, it would actually be interesting. It's giving me DeMarco Murray vibes 2.0. Let me know your thoughts on that. Hey, Zeke still had 12 touchdowns last year, almost 900 yards. Could be utilized as a power back. You never know. Do not sleep on Howie Roseman. That is the question of the day, though. Give me your thoughts down below. Before we get into the news, shout out to the sponsor here of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA. Get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Of Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get into it, man. So the first big news of the day, the man, the rock, Mr. Consistent, Lane Johnson is going to get a 1-year extension on top of his current contract. Adam Schefter reporting the Eagles are giving Lane Johnson a 1-year $33.4 million contract extension, including $30 million guaranteed. He's now under contract through 2026. Johnson has not surrendered a sack the past 2 years, even playing last postseason with a torn adductor. And obviously, we all give him well wishes and hope that Lane gets well soon. A lot of people off the bat probably react to this, oh my gosh, $33 million, 30 guaranteed. Look, Howie Roseman, we're focused on this offseason here, right? We're analyzing moves. We're breaking it down. This man, Howie Roseman, is thinking 3 years out, right? He's thinking about the future. He has everything mapped out, scoped out. He's a cap wizard. I'm telling you, he has all his ducks in a row, and he's just planning everything, right? Perfect timing. That's what Howie Roseman's nickname should be. He's been on top of it this offseason so far, filling different voids, but he's also focused on things like this, right? The Jalen Hurts contract extension is coming. And when you look at a guy like Lane Johnson, obviously a top draft pick for the Eagles, who has played up to himself, right? And even beyond, Lane Johnson is so rock solid. The Eagles and Howie Roseman, that philosophy that they preach has always been, stuck on the trenches, right? That's their main priority. And the Eagles have had one of the best offensive lines for years now. You had to do this, right? You had to Do what it takes to continue to keep this guy around as long as possible. I think Lane can continue playing at the highest level, and Howie's got a plan. Somehow this is going to, provide cap relief this year, next year, whatever it is. Howie is thinking 10 steps ahead, and that's why I really, really enjoy him as a GM. Also, shout out to Thomas Peterson here on Twitter, putting this up. Pretty much what Schefter had said in his tweet. Lane Johnson did not allow a sack in 21. He did not allow a sack in 22. He is the only offensive tackle to not allow a sack in either year. This guy is rock solid. He's just a top-tier player. He's a cornerstone, and he's been one of the best, and he helped this team win it all. He almost helped them do it again, playing through terrible injury. He's just rock solid. He's tough, and he is made for Philadelphia. So shout out to Lane Johnson. 2,036 snaps and 0 sacks. Wow. Okay. Now, the signing of the day, right? Where do the Eagles need to bolster their team? Well, they had some hits at safety. They had some hits at linebacker. What has Howie Roseman done in the last week? He went out, he signed Nick Morrow, the linebacker from the Chicago Bears, on a 1-year deal, right? They don't have a lot of cap, so he has to find some of these discount deals. Then he goes and signs Justin Evans, the safety from the Tampa Bay Bucks. And what does he do today? He goes and picks up another guy who will remain in state and come on over to Philadelphia. That is Terrell Edmonds. The Eagles sign him to a 1-year deal. Former Steelers safety who was a first-round draft pick. I think he was 28th overall in the 2018 draft, 26 years old, and he's got some games under him. Once again, shout out to Thomas Peterson. Started in 75 out of 79 possible games, 410 career tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and 5 interceptions. Not a guy that's going to set the world on fire, but a good depth piece who will come in to training camp and compete, and you never know. This could be kind of his role where he steps up and, has his best career season like a CJ Gardner-Johnson did, right? At the end of the day, you have to find some of the diamonds in the rough. Now, I think the Eagles are probably going to try to draft a safety or draft a linebacker, right? Nick Morrow, you have Nakobe Dean at linebacker. You have guys who can step up and hopefully fill some voids, but you're doing everything that you can. You got your biggest playmakers back. You address the positions of need, and now you're continuing to sign depth pieces. It's not like you're waiting and 2 months down the line, you sign a guy who nobody's ever heard of, right? Howie Roseman is doing his job. He has everything mapped out, like I said, and he's just ready, to attack it. And this guy, Terrell Edmonds, actually talked about the Eagles defense, saying, quote, Philly had an exciting defense all year. Every game they were exciting to watch, even the Super Bowl. You could tell people were really passionate and into the game, and that's something I wanted to buy into. I already like this guy. I already like him, man. Talking about the team aspect, talking about buying into the bigger picture. Obviously, CJ Gardner-Johnson went and did what was best for his family. He talked about that. I'm happy for him, right? As a guy, getting that payday. But at the end of the day, Eagles need somebody who's willing to maybe take a little bit of a discount, buy in, and hopefully prove everybody wrong and go make a career year for yourself and make this team better and help them get back to the biggest game. I'm not having any complaints, honestly, when it comes to Howie Roseman. He was able to keep the best cornerback duo, in my opinion, in the NFL together. He was able to bring some of the best vets back for another year run, trying to go all in, and he continues to pick up these pieces, right? He continues to just kind of, scan the playing field. That's what Howie Roseman does. When you have a cap situation like the Eagles have, when you know the Jalen Hurts contract extension is coming, you can't go out and sign a top-tier safety or a top-tier linebacker. You're going to have to draft good, which Howie Roseman has done over the past couple years. You have guys waiting in the flesh, right? The Jordan Davis, like I said, Nakobe Dean. And, you're going to have some of these guys step up. This is what makes teams good. That's why Howie Roseman's offseason last year was so terrific because, he signed Hassan Reddick out of nowhere. He signs these guys. He trades for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and look what they did, right? Everybody got a payday because of how good the team was. But don't forget, Howie Roseman had a terrific offseason last year, and hopefully he's able to do the same thing with some of these pieces that the Eagles are picking up. At the end of the day, man, where will the Eagles draft? What will they do? A lot of people talking about that. We talked about it in our last piece with Bijan Robinson. I do not think they will draft running back. I don't think they'll end up signing Zeke, even though it would be funny. I think the Eagles are going to go best talent available. And again, where do I think that'll be? I don't know as of right now, but I just have a feeling Howie Roseman is going in the trenches in the first round. I think he looks towards the future. I think he looks, again, at guys like BG or maybe Fletch, who won't be here after this next year. And he says, you know what? Let's bolster our depth. Let's continue to go and feed some of those big dogs up front. That's what Howie Roseman has always done. I could see it happening. If they went and picked safety, I'd be happy. If they went, and picked maybe a huge playmaker or traded up a couple spots or traded back, whatever it is, I'm putting my full faith in Howie Roseman. He's drafted from the biggest schools the past couple years, and it's been very, very successful. So that's kind of where we're at, but that's a little bit on the Eagles' newest member, newest safety, Terrell Edmonds. And you know what? I hope this guy comes in here and earns a role. Those are all my thoughts. Give me yours down below. What do you make of the signings, and where do you think the Eagles will go in the draft? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.